Well, good afternoon again from our bathroom. Now, you remember from the last video the Whirlpool bath pump problem. Here is the pump minus the impeller assembly. You remember I showed you that before. Now, there's some really good news. The pump, there's nothing wrong with the pump at all. The motor, it's absolutely fine. I mean, well, I say pump. This bit is actually a motor. That's all it is. That's a motor that's the spindle. That bit turns a motor into a pump. But that's fine. That's technical. But yeah. So if you see this is the pump, but this is the motor portion of the pump. And if you remember before, it was just making a horrible buzzing noise and not doing much. Well, look, if you watch now, look. Absolutely fine. Runs absolutely no problem, tickety-boo. Anyway, so that meant there was a problem with the impeller somewhere. So, long story short, took the impeller off of the pump, off of the motor, should I say? And so this is the outer casing with the inlet here and the outlet on top. That goes obviously at the front. In between is the actual impeller itself. This is the impeller with the blades. This spins around and sucks the water. That goes in there. And this piece here connects to the shaft of the motor. And as you've just seen, there's nothing wrong with the motor at all. And then this... Shizer. This piece here, this actually bolts, the spindle goes through there, like so, and that actually bolts, it goes that way, that actually bolts, that goes like that, and the impeller here, this, oh hang on, I'm zooming in for no reason, here we go. The impeller screws onto this shaft here, and then this outer casing bolts back over. Now, to keep it watertight, because I know you're all asking that question, well, how is it watertight, Tom? To keep it watertight, this is difficult to show you with one hand, but I'll try. There's a collar around here. There's a collar, and it's, oh yeah, it's sprung loaded. It's quite a stiff spring. It's sprung loaded, yeah. And this ring here, this black piece here, that's a bearing surface. It's actually called a bush, and that's a very hard plastic bush, and that seats itself against this white plastic bush. Now this white Shizer twice. This white plastic bush here. This actually seats and seals into the back of this with a rubber piece. And what had happened as I was taking this assembly off the motor, what I noticed was when I took it off, this white plastic thing and the rubber behind it was actually fixed, or it was actually sort of stuck to this piece. So in effect, what was happening is the impeller was trying to be turned by the motor. But it was the rubber piece in the outside of this white piece. That rubber piece was trying to sort of like turn against the hard plastic, and obviously a rubber seal is not going to turn against plastic. The whole idea is it's this slippery white bush which rubs against that slippery black bush. Anyway, there we go. So long story short, I think I fixed it. But now it's just a case of putting it back together with some high melt bearing grease, which I've borrowed, which I've nicked from next door. Good old Mick next door, the machinery, the mower fixer, basically the old guy. He's got everything, and he just squirted me a squirt of bearing grease out of his grease gun. So I'm going to put some of that around here and around here, and then bolt it all back together, chuck it back in, And there we go. That should be problem solved. And now I know for next time, when everyone says, "Oh, the bath's not working again," I know what to do. So anyway, hope you've enjoyed this insight into our Whirlpool bath, and I hope you're enjoying your Sunday afternoon. Anyway, bye for now.